Hey guys, this is Mr. Farrell. This video is giving you some instructions on this number 3 identifying variables worksheet. So you should have done your starter. I've had a video attached to that to help you out. You should have done this scientific method Nearpod, and there's going to be a YouTube video in that section. So what that video is that video is a recording from sixth period on Wednesday. So we recorded the whole lesson. So I would highly suggest to go back and watch that. It does include some stuff like the CER, like we did that in class. So I recorded that. So you can skip through that stuff if you want to, but I would highly suggest you listen at least to the part where we went through the Nearpod and I kind of explained some stuff, because I kind of gave some examples, and it's always better to kind of hear the explanation of the slide. So I would go back and suggest that. And also too, do the Nearpod, listen to the video, because that'll help making the identifying variables worksheet make a little more sense. So we're going to click into this, and it's uploading, it's loading, and I'm going to make this a little bit bigger here. So what your job is you're going to identify the independent variable, the dependent variable, control groups, and constants. So these words are probably new to you, or maybe you heard them before, but you don't remember what they were. So like I was saying, go back, make sure you do number 2, watch the YouTube video for that, and then I would work with this. So if you look, I've also included some definitions and just some helpful ways to remember what the independent variable was, what the dependent variable is, what's the constants in the control group. And these bolded and underlined words here, these are some big ideas. So, independent variable, you're looking for something that's different. Dependent variable, this is the data or what's measured. Constants are things that we want to keep the same between all the things in the experiment, all the trials we're testing. And then the control group is you're thinking normal or no treatment group. So I'll kind of give you an example for number 1. So the example says different rose bushes are grown in a greenhouse for 2 months. The number of flowers on each bush is counted at the end. Now, for me, finding this dependent variable is always the easiest, because it is the data. It's what I'm measuring in the experiment. So I'm not going to type it out just because it's a little bit quicker. I would ask you guys to type it out, but what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of use some color to help show what's what. And so if we look here, what I'm counting, if you guys know already, should be the number of flowers on each bush. So I'm going to highlight that. So those two things go together. Like I said, make sure that you type it out, but if you want to highlight stuff to say that you already used it, I would suggest to do that. Or you could use the strike through tool. And I'm going to show you how to use that in a second. But I would mark through this stuff and mark up the problem, because once I use number of flowers, I'm not going to use it again. So we're going to move on to the independent variable. Now, this is what the scientist changed, and I pretend I'm the scientist. So this should be the only thing that's different. So if we look, okay, I see different rose bushes. That's kind of a big hint there. There's that different word. So this is going to be my independent variable. And what I'm going to do here, maybe you're more the person, you like to cross it off. So if you like to cross it off, what that was again is you go to format and then text, and the cross off is called strike through. So those two things go together. So I've used different rose bushes and I've used number of flowers on each bush. So I'm not going to have to use those again. Now remember, constants, these are things that are kept the same in the experiment. Now you're going to have multiple of these. So anything that's the same between those rose bushes, well, I know they're grown in a greenhouse. They're all grown in a greenhouse for for that time. So that's all the same between those. They're all growing for 2 months. That's something else that's the same. And when we count those rose bushes, the flowers, let me actually grab the counted here. They're all counted and all measured at the end of the experiment. Okay. So if I mark stuff off and I say, hey, I've used this, I've used this, I've used this, it makes it easier to see what you haven't used. So I would suggest to do that. And we're going to talk about this control group because we didn't have control group up here. We had constants. So the control group is going to be, if I look up here, sorry about that. The control group is going to be normal or no treatment. So you might think about what gets normal. So I look here, you water 3 sunflower plants with salt water. So we got salt water, and then a fourth receives regular water. Well, that's like normal water. So the fourth plant that receives regular water or normal water is going to be my control group. Okay, so we've done an example of each, what that would look like. And again, what I would suggest is look at your definitions up here, look at the explanation, pay attention to these bolded and underlined words. So I hope that helps. Like with the CER, if you guys have questions or you're having problems with this, get a hold of me. Join our Google Meet Friday. We can work through some more. If you want to work through some together, I'm fine with that. I would rather you feel confident and understand it than try to do it and it's possibly wrong. So I hope that helps. I hope you guys have a good rest of your day and hopefully see you soon.